Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear student, we are studying section 3 elements, chapter 1. The objectives of today's lesson is that we will discuss about metalloids. Also, we will link this topic with the previous lesson that was related to metals and non-metals. Now, dear student, in the previous lesson, we discussed about metals. I told you people that the metals, most of the metals are solid at room temperature. They are malleable, means when they are hammered, they convert into thin sheet. They are ductile, when drawn, they convert into wires, fine wires. And also the very important property is that they conduct electricity and heat well. They are conductor of electricity because of the free electrons. Then we discussed about non-metals. Regarding non-metals, I told you that the non-metals are gaseous in state except one, that is bromine, it is in liquid state, and some are in solid state like carbon, phosphorus, and sulfur, and so on. While in solid state, the non-metals are brittle and they are poor conductor of heat and electricity. All these things we discussed in our previous lesson. So there are some examples of non-metals in the solid state. Carbon is black in color over here, sulfur is yellowish in color, phosphorus is dark brown in color, while iodine is gray in color. These are in solid state, the pure non-metals. Today we are discussing about metallite. Now the metallite is an element that has some characteristics of metal and some characteristics of non-metal. So the properties of metallites are that all metallites are solid at room temperature. They are semiconductor of electricity. So now if you go through this periodic table, as I told you that all the elements in pink shaded color over here, these are metals, while the green part and the indigo part extreme right of this periodic table, these are non-metal. While they bridge between the non-metal and the metal, these elements are known as metalloid. These are boron, silicon, germanium, astatine, antimony, and tellurium. These are metalloids now. These are shaded with the orange color over here now. Dear student, if we are going to discuss about the properties of this one, it should be clear to you people that all metallites are solid at room temperature, the very first point. They tend to be less malleable than metals, but not as brittle as non-metal. So their properties are in between metal and non-metal. So the metallites tend to be semiconductor of electricity. That is why these metallites are used in different circuitry found in desktop computer, the digital watches, the televisions, and radios. Also, there's one metallite that is antimony, have a somewhat a metallic luster in it. Luster means they are shiny, as we know that the metals are also shiny, they are lustrous. So this is the ending of chapter 1. Also, we completed the section 3 today. And dear student, if you go through your section 3, the formative assessment is mentioned over here now. So you can use the periodic table to name all of these things. You have to go through this section 3 formative assessment at home. This is your homework and you have to complete it. And then you have to tally your answers with this one. Kindly pause over here for a few moments, then compare your answer with this one. If you're feeling any sort of difficulty, feel free to contact in Schoology discussion form. I will be there to clear your doubts. Thank you very much, dear student. Have a nice day.